Alrighty, so over on the frag side, we've got a Kremlin, able to point his nose at the enemy and not give a shit. We've got a Kurfürst looking for the brawls. We've got a John Bart, same thing, looking for the brawls. And we've got the little Mikasa, the cheerleader of the team mascot, piloted, or helmed by Dodge Guy. And what do we have on the other side?
So it looks like we also have a pretty similar, actually pretty similar comp to last time. They took actually very different, when I think about it. They took the same Mikasa, actually, wait. They were in a Ganget last time, right? Or Nikolai?
Yes.
Yeah, so they're doing more high tier ships and focusing less on their Mikasa, mainly because their Nikolai wasn't doing anything. So they have a Mikasa, a Pommern, an Ohio, and a Kremlin. So they're doing the Kremlin for tanking, and these two for secondaries, while the Mikasa is probably going to be the cap contester and spotter, since it has the best concealment out of the four.
Yeah, so Frag has the bonus in Turtleback. However, Fury has the bonus in Torps, namely that it has Torps. Turtleback obviously going to be coming in if they just decide to straight in YOLO against each other and man mode it. And Torps the same, depending on if the Pommern's able to get them around. Those Torps have very, very, very little module health and tend to get knocked out pretty easy, so sometimes they can be a liability, especially if you're trying to depend on them.
So it looks like there was a opening shot by the GK on the Pommern, but it unfortunately ricocheted, and everybody's still on 100% HP. Shots from the Kremlin out on the Kurfürst. It does overpen. Very slow start, honestly.
Yeah, as happens sometimes. We got the Kremlin of Lewis TR heading over toward the Ohio Pommern. Don't know if the Ohio was spotted. There were shots at the Pommern, but I don't think there were shots at the Ohio, so I don't know if the Kremlin knows he's going into a 2v1 situation. He's got his cheerleader Mikasa behind him, though, so he's probably feeling good. Mikasa of Warlord kind of hanging out in the middle there. Hopefully he's heading toward an island to stay safe, but actually looks like he's just sitting still in spectator mode. Oh no, he's just super slow. So that's going to be the Kremlin of Fury backing up, saying, oh fuck this man, keeping his nose pointed toward the enemy as D-Mud and John Bart are pushing him away from the cap, as the Kremlin of Lewis TR enters the second ring right about the same time as Gilly in the Mist over on Fury's side. And Dodge Guy and the Mikasa entering the second ring as well. Who got hit?
So it looks like the GK is actually getting chunked down quite a lot.
Oh. Yep, D-Mud's showing quite a bit of side to the Ohio Pommern. Maybe this is the first point where that Ohio really stepped out, although he has the spotter plane going, so that probably would have been an indication, hey, there's two over here, but at the same time, it's going to take you a while to be able to respond, and D-Muds was already in that position. I think he was moving up to try to be able to keep guns on Fury's Kremlin.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to be wary of the situation. Like, if you don't know where the rest of their battleships are, you can't push that and overextend, because like D-Muz just realized he suffered from it severely by half his HP.
Yep.
And then when the Ohio and the Pommern stepped into the second ring and he saw them, he had to angle to them so this way he wouldn't take more damage, opening up his broadside to Fury Rage.
Ooh, Dodge Guy getting impatient. Opening up on Gilly in the Mist, saying, I'm over here, bitch, bring it. Gilly takes a shot back. Mikasa nimbly dodges around the shells.
Mikasa is so slow that they just overlead it.
Well, he's also so short that he can turn like a destroyer, just make some 90-degree turns and stuff. And again, the Mikasa. What a man mode. What a champion. Firing at the Ohio. Fuck you, shooting him in the face, only to be shot back at by a whole bunch of secondaries from a Pommern that's moving up on the Kremlin. Shots out from said Pommern out to the GK of D-Muds, backing up, but he is angled. Don't expect that to matter too much. Chisel's about 6k. Really, it's more about the Pommern is moving for the pinch on the Kremlin. Lewis TR has an Ohio in front of him, a Pommern to his left, and if that Pommern continues around the island, he's going to be kind of stuck, but looks like Flashpointed, just slamming on the brakes, chucking some stuff at the Kurfürst, who is moving forward broadside to a Kremlin, but looking for the island cover pretty soon.
So looks like the Mikasa actually is taking quite a bit of fire, but somehow is managing to escape some of it because of his sluggish but very nimble hull. I mean, sluggish meaning speed-wise, and nimble meaning easily turned. Anyway, so on to the GK. D-Muds is opening up secondaries on the Ohio, while the Kremlin actually pushes out in front of the Pommern a little bit, giving flat broadside, firing very preemptively, and ooh, this is not good for the Kremlin here. Okay, so I think Kremlin just made a major mistake here.
He lives.
Ooh.
Pommern does have the undersized guns, as it is not the FTG, but he does have the torps. The torps are going to come out. Kremlin's already reversing. Does he have the angles? The angles look good. That's a flat-footed Kremlin that just fired into the Pommern.
Ooh.
But he fired into Turtleback, and that's a big thump. Much less damage than I expected. How about you? Holy shit, that was like...
I mean, that Kremlin should have gotten at least probably 40k'd by the Pommern on that first shot by his front guns, and then maybe just like that much damage by his torps as well should have brought him down to like 20k if his RNG was favorable. But I'm guessing either one of two things happened. Either his RNG wasn't favorable since it is a Pommern, or he managed to miss aim. But looks like the Pommern has died, and it has been put in Frag's favor in terms of the kills.
GK is turning out, trying to dodge the torps. He might end up being clipped by one, but he's definitely maneuvering. Yeah, he's gonna take one right on the belt. What is this? It did like 1200 damage.
No.
It did. I swear. I don't know what the hell happened there. Like, it did almost like 2600 damage or something. I don't know, man. Those torps didn't eat their Wheaties this morning, so they forgot to put the dynamite in the torps, and instead all they did was just kind of fill it with some confetti and some like surprise powder or something. Big shells coming over from the Ohio with the John Bart. Slammity slam slam. He's down to 13. At this point, that John Bart needs to be in full YOLO mode, looking to give that Kremlin a kiss. And sure
Honestly,
enough,
if the Sean Bart does YOLO he has the reload booster. The Kremlin does beach here.
Yeah, Kremlin beached.
Could have the upper hand if he plays this correctly. If he has the reload booster, he wins.
With that angle, really?
Yes. He could just aim under the guns. Oh, he's going for the...
Oh!
With the Dev Strike. Well done, Sean Bart.
The equalizer continues to bring about equality as the epicenter makes for the brawl and the brawl makes for the fucking bitch slapping kills. Wham! Kremlin takes a whole bunch right into the armpit and just gets totally fragged. So, Kremlin moving around. Lewis TR looking to take an angle here as the Ohio dives behind the island trying to stay good. The Ohio, are his guns ready? They are. They fully expect this Kremlin. Is the Kremlin going to be able to crest across that island with enough angle? Or are we going to see another shot right under the armpit into those guns and right out the back of his head?
I think he's well angled enough to the point where it won't work. I mean, his back guns maybe.
Oh!
There's the Ohio.
Frags to the left, frags to the right of me. Mikasa in the middle. Stuck in the middle with all four of them. Ah!
Come on, Mikasa, we're rooting for you.
Alrighty. Warlord the mascot. Warlord the cheerleader. Warlord living the dream.
Warlord the dev struck.
Yeah. The solo Warlordior is eating a bunch of secondaries, eating a whole bunch of shells, and eating a whole bunch of oomph. As he's going to go down, that's going to give one to Frag. So it's going to be one Frag, Fury 2 to close out the match. The equalizer, once again, bringing about equality. As just...
That was an interesting game.
Yeah, as oof after oof. No jokes. Ba-boom. Congrats to both teams. Fury for the very tactical, frankly, excellent play. Able to hold down flanks, nice pitched maneuvers, nice long point-based play, and and also great focus fire. And then grats to Frag for being able to get in there and just rip bitches in half.